placed for this Roberta 6-piece Ocean Sunset Series ice plants. This is beautiful. There are over 45 star reviews already on QVC.com to bring home this beautiful array of color, $29.98, 5 easy payments of $6. This is a perennial that's going to keep coming back, and it appears from this image that this completely spreads and brings you green and blooms and color. Yes, please. 6 actively growing plants going to come home to you in these gorgeous colors, and Steph Walline is joining us right now to tell us all about this beautiful moment. Is this in the succulent family?
It sure is.
What?
That's right. Yeah, good job.
I saw the leaves. And
yes,
I'm like,
they're like, they feel like jelly because they're
juicy.
Yeah, they're filled with moisture and water. So what ice plant is, as you're seeing here, this is a ground cover. This is truly like smart gardening at its finest, because this is a problem solver in the garden. It's going to smother out all of the weeds.
Gotcha.
It's going to replace the mulch. So instead of just having boring old mulch, you can have what I call living mulch, which is going to bring you beautiful bursts of color for 6 months out of the year. But then all year, Steve, it's actually evergreen ground cover. So even in the snow here in Westchester, Pennsylvania, you still get to see that beautiful green foliage.
You're kidding me.
No, so it's beautiful interest 12 months out of the year. And the Ocean Sunset Series is even better than typical other ice plant that maybe you've seen because of the size of these flowers.
Okay.
These are going to be like a $50 size, whereas typical ice plants maybe like a dime.
Right.
So when you put that into perspective, these are like almost like Gerber daisies on the ground just smiling up at you. I absolutely love them.
Wow.
That's our dad, and actually that's in San Diego where I live. And what's so beautiful about the ice plant is if you didn't have the ice plant growing on that slope, you would probably just have dirt, because you're not going to put grass.
No, that's
true. You can't mow it.
You can't.
Anything else would probably just erode. So the ice plant really is a problem solver for everywhere in the garden.
Spectacular.
And then it just adds so much beauty.
That was beautiful.
It was really nice.
My goodness. Okay, so this is what we're going to get.
Yes.
Even with little blooms coming out
yes,
already.
Exactly. They're already starting to bloom. So this is a 6-piece tray. You can see here that they're all individually planted. And so it's 6 pieces, 2 of every color. You're getting a purple, an orange, and then a hot orange glow, which is kind of like tri-colored.
Gotcha.
But the thing about the ice plant really is, you know, right now it's planting season.
Of course.
We had planting, now we're in planting. And instead of, if you haven't done your new mulch for the season, don't worry about it. Instead, grow the ice plant, because really, it's going to bring beauty 12 months out of the year. You're going to plant it once, whereas with mulch, you have to buy it year after year.
Oh, for sure.
It gets super expensive. And why it's such an incredible mulch replacer is, I'll just go ahead and show you. So I'm going to pop out one of our 6 plants.
Okay.
Here I have a little mock-up of last year's mulch.
Okay.
Now, rather than going out and digging this up, you're just going to nestle your plants directly into last year's mulch. Now, this is one of those hot orange glows. You can see just how beautiful these flowers really are.
So sweet.
This is going to turn into a plant that looks like this here in the front this very first season.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, it grows rapidly, and then by the second season, this will have doubled. So in one collection, you can expect up to 12 feet of coverage.
Oh my goodness.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful.
And it will continue to just go
just
and
spread.
go and go.
Exactly right. Yep.
This is the ground cover of your dreams, giving you that beautiful green year-round, and then in your spring-summer season, all these beautiful blooms. All 6 of these coming home $29.98, or 5 easy pays of $6 in those 3 spectacular colors.
Yep.
And that is why so many people have already picked this up and come back to QVC.com to leave a 5-star review, because what we're seeing here is not the mulch, not the pebbles, not the rocks.
Yeah.
This is what you want.
Exactly. And I just wanted to point this photo out. So the flowers on the far right, that's what you're growing. Look at how much larger they are compared to the traditional ice plant. That's what sets us apart. So not only are the colors more vibrant, but the flowers are extra large. So it really is a showstopper, and it's so much more beautiful than just seeing brown old mulch.
No, absolutely. The fact that, and then does it almost, it's like we're seeing a cascading moment.
Yeah, so this is on a retaining wall. So wherever it plants, it really will just kind of creep and crawl. And this, I mean, it is just effortlessly flowing over, still blooming. Here you see it in a container. If you just want a little pop of color on your decks and your patios, you can grow the ice plant for sure.
Wow.
But the reason why it is such a perfect plant, honestly, in my opinion. I mean, imagine, so this was actually taken in England on the coast side.
That is stunning.
No one's going out there to water.
That's true.
Exactly. It's getting, you know, the salty air from the ocean, and it is just thriving. It really can endure anything that's thrown at it.
That is really, really special. So do we want to be conscious of if we're putting this in a hot, sunny place?
It loves the hot sun. That's a great
Okay.
question. So, you know, honestly, I would plant this up by the mailbox where your hose won't reach.
Okay.
You know, on the sides of your driveway that get really hot in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere that has poor soil in the garden that other things won't really grow, this
Right.
is going to do just fine.
Gotcha. Well, we are less than 800 of these to go around right now. Let me ask you if we've got like sort of like larger stones or pathway moments with just little
Totally.
creepings
Yeah.
of dirt. This would be a really
I love that
smart
idea.
way to move around throughout there.
Exactly. So I would recommend doing them on the sides of the pavers. We have another ground cover that you could walk on that I would put in the middle, but
Gotcha.
along the sides of those stones would be absolutely beautiful. They would just really light up that pathway.
That's so
and then maybe
fun.
behind it, you know, we're about to see the Gerber daisies, and then you can,
Yeah.
you know, put your bigger flowering plants behind. So this is that perfect foreground in the garden.
So
and
good.
you can expect these flowers. I mean, you saw ours, they were already blooming, but starting in June all the way probably to October or November here in Westchester. For me in California, mine get to bloom year round.
All the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then you get to have that beautiful, luscious green foliage 12 months out of the year. That is pretty spectacular.
It really is, because let's face it, like in the dead of the winter where nothing is green, especially for
Right.
those of us here in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
like what a great way to just be able to look outside and know that you've got some greenery still happening.
Absolutely.
And then what happens when the springtime comes around, then the blooms start a-blooming and spreading, which is so special.
Absolutely right. Yeah, that's a great shot actually right there. So you can see, and I will pick one off. I like to show why it's so cool that it's a succulent, because it's extremely drought tolerant as succulents are, but if we could come to my fingers really quick,
Yeah.
you can see just all of that moisture that is in there.
Wow.
That's just like 2 little leaves. So imagine they're all absolutely filled with water. So that's why I'm saying, like, put these where you're not going to go out and water, because they're going to be absolutely fine.
I mean, that, you heard it first. Definitely want to put something in our garden that's very easy
Yep.
and really beautiful at the same time. And you're getting all 3 of these colors. Remind us
Yes.
about the colors
So
again.
actually you see all 3 in this
Oh,
photo.
perfect.
So on the left, that kind of tri-colored is the hot orange glow. Then you've got the violet, and then on the far right is the orange. And I love them because they are hot, bright, vivid colors. They really attract your eye. And here you see on a retaining wall, really craggy soil, you
So
know,
cool.
nothing really else would probably grow there.
Yeah.
So you just problem solve, beautify the less beautiful areas in the garden with this
that.
ice plant.
Yeah, that is really, really special. The fact that you're getting 6 of them for less than $30 or 5 easy payments of $6. This is the Roberta 6-piece Ocean Sunset Series Ice Plant, live plants, $29.98, 5 easy payments of $6. 3 spectacular colors, item M95078. Everyone's falling in love with this one. Definitely pick this one up. Well, maybe you want to add some pollinators with some echinacea.